McGuire sisters? Uh-uh. This group not singing Sugar Time. This group singing that song, Ho Ho Ha Ha Hee Hee. And, you know, you may never have seen this before. I haven't. And I was around for a while these guys were doing campus hijinks. Hi, Wal.
Hi. Good to see you.
Yeah, glad you tuned in.
Right.
Hello. Introduce me to your friend over here, though I don't need an introduction, the audience does.
Steve Hoza from the Arizona Historical Society.
And what is that official title that you're so proud of, Steve?
I am the museum conservator. I am the one that restores and repairs all of the damaged books and documents and photographs at our library and archives.
The kind of damage, of course, that Gerald is notoriously responsible
Exactly.
for and blamed on Ladmo over the years.
Yes.
Big exhibit on, gee, how long has it been at the Arizona Historical Society Museum, the Wallace Ladmo exhibit?
Opened in February of last year.
Okay, so coming up on a year.
Yes.
And everybody's still invited.
Yes, they are.
And it's kind of a semi-permanent exhibit, isn't it?
Yes.
Because ours was a kind of a semi-permanent
Permanent
television show. So Saturday, big event going on at the museum, besides the exhibit.
Yeah, it's kind of a Wallace and Ladmo convention. Instead of Trekkies, we'll have baggies. Lots of Ladmo bags, and we'll give some to lucky seat winners. There's an auction, and Steve has pulled some of the great old tapes and films, and he's going to run that. And
Oh, really? So there's going to be some Wallace and Ladmo stuff, performances going on, some of the old bits.
right, and you're going to participate in a question and answer session, and a lot of people from the past that were on the show or worked on the show will be there, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. And a lot of members of the, I'm going to have Steve explain who these remarkable people are.
As soon as I mentioned Officer Skaveric, before you leave the studio, there will be bags. I told you there wasn't a bag in the studio. I just found out there's going to be Ladmo bags given away Saturday. You may want to change your plans. Steve.
Okay. There is a Yahoo Internet fan club that has been in existence.
I'm sorry.
Isn't that an
I'm sorry.
appropriate name?
Well, I know that Yahoo is a computer name, but in fact it would be something that the Wallace and Ladmo show would probably call it.
It's perfect.
Created by Chris Williams, who was a high school buddy of mine. And Chris, we now have, I believe, over 200 members of this club. Chris will be there on Saturday with information on how to join. And this kindly gentleman came in the museum one day and said something about having some TV show on in the valley, and at first I really didn't believe him. And then he took me to lunch, and over a taco and a root beer, he said, let's have a party for these Internet fan club people.
You can get almost anything with Steve for lunch. So please know that as you approach him this coming Saturday, you want something out of the museum, offer him a taco, and it's yours. But this is a big deal because it isn't just a matter of recognizing nearly a year of the exhibit being on at the Arizona Historical Society Museum. The Wallace and Ladmo Entertainment is going to be there and will be there to meet everybody. But there's also some stuff that hasn't been available before. Like, for example, I had never seen this picture, and there's a good reason why.
Oh, I just did it.
This is original art by my friend Wallace, and this is going to be available to everybody?
Yeah. I like the way Ladmo's squishing Gerald's little noggin there.
Yes, right. It's called a manual lobotomy.
Good.
And now listen, no, go ahead.
We want everybody out there to please come by. You may want to join the Wallace and Ladmo Club.
It is open to the public also.
Well, we were certainly hoping so. I mean, it wasn't just the members of the club.
No,
Yeah, I think
public.
I'm a member. Wait, I think I have a membership card. Where is it? Oh, here.
The Wallace and Ladmo Membership Club.
I don't know who the.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, here. Yeah, let me turn this around just for a little better
Right.
shot. There we go. Yeah, this is a membership card, and the Chris Williams will make sure that you get one. By the way, Chris Williams wanted me to ask you a question. Why? Why were you kicked out of biology class in high school?
Which one was that? Which instance was that?
Oh, there were a number of experiences.
Well,
Steve,
Yes.
you know, you don't look like a troublemaker.
Well, it was something about, you know, the frogs they have in biology for dissection. He ate them. He fried them up or something. Is that true?
To Mr. Walker and everybody at Bourgade, sorry about that. It went on my permanent record, and that's why I'm not further in my career than I am at the moment.
More family entertainment on the Wallace and Ladmo portion of the Pat McMahon Show on a Tuesday. I want you to show some of the art that is going to be auctioned off. And by the way, Steve, now that I find out about this seamy background of yours, I should ask you, where does the money go from the auction?
All the money from the auction will benefit the society. We have at the museum the collection of material that came from Channel 5 when the show went off the air, and will also help us to produce more products for the store.
Okay, now listen, first, why don't we point out with this, and I know that you're as a museum guy, you're not going to touch them, right?
Nope.
Okay, what do we have here and why are they on display?
Okay, these are some of the silent auction items we're going to have on Saturday. Longtime fans may remember the great Mike Condello.
It's one of the best albums that I know of satirizing anything, and it is that fabulous and inventive and creative thing satirizing the Sgt. Pepper Beatles album, and it's all about the Wallace and Ladmo characters. It's terrific stuff. Very, very few of those available. And next to that, another record, and that is...
This is a 45 of the theme song, which you played, and also Mike's song, Pollen's Found a Home in My Nose, is on the other side.
That was his romantic period.
Yes.
And right in front of that, before you leave the close-up, sir, too late, before you leave the close-up, right in front of that little guy, those little guys, explain yourself, Chris, Steve.
We have a gentleman who creates pewter figures, and these are two of the rare pewter figures of the early Wallace and Ladmo. You notice Wallace with his beanie here, and Ladmo with his tattered shirt and tattered hat.
Okay, now, are those just on display, or are those going to be available to people?
These are auction items also.
Wow.
Yeah, Dave Mills was the sculptor, and he'll have a lot of his figures there for you to see.
There's another, by the way, there's another event going on tomorrow night that I'm going to be talking about in just a moment before we leave this segment. So stand by, basketball lovers, because I've got tickets. So stand by. I'm not going to give them away quite yet, but stand by because we've got ASU basketball tickets coming up. Big game. Okay, very quickly, Steve, before we run out of time, just hold up those items and let people know more reasons to attend the big Wallace and Ladmo event Saturday, 2 o'clock?
Yes.
From 2 to 4. What's going on with this?
We have another piece of original artwork from Wallace of Ladmo and Mr. Grudgemeyer.
Okay. Now, this was just done by you. Yes. Wallace, of course, a cartoonist before he was a television guy. And then what is that book?
This is a rare book illustrated by the Kirsten brothers, Rick and Pete. And
did all of our art.
Yeah.
And written by Wallace, called Critters. And it contains a lot of bits that would have been used by the Wizard. A little did you know kind of thing. And,
okay.
it's printed
Original
in the
art,
60s.
fun, good times, eats.
Yes, there will be refreshments. Have you got 10 seconds?
Yes.
Or was that a wine?
No, never mind. I pay no attention to these folks.
Okay. The three people that have been really important in this resurgence of the Wallace Ladmo show are here in this room. Ben Tyler for writing the plays, Steve for being our man in Havana for years helping us,
Thanks.
and Pat for doing Pat McMahon Presents Wallace and Ladmo.
Sunday evenings at 7 on AZTV, and then a repeat on Tuesdays. And you know what else I do? I also do this. Hey, ASU, Cal, big time Pac-10 basketball, right now, call this number, and you, if you are one of the first three, will walk off with a pair of tickets to that big game at Wells Fargo Arena. If you show up Saturday at the Arizona Historical Society Museum, just a bunch of white guys who can't jump, but we make people laugh. Coming up Saturday, 2 o'clock. Please join us. You'll have a good time. Bye now. How'd I do?
Very good.